Right there. He's there. He's there.
Okay. I got a
Just
fix.
wanted to-
We're back. I got a fix.
Are we back? I just wanted to watch it, man.
Are we back? We're back. Everybody can finish
And he
watching
did it.
Jay.
My steak dinner.
I want my steak dinner. You just have to give me more than that.
Did it,
Bro.
I know.
Stomach that.
I didn't, because 2 seconds later, I run to the sink. Not throw up
So do you
everything.
have you always regretted doing that?
You looking like Dr. Evil right now.
On the scale of like,
I can't lie.
Hold on, no,
No,
age needs it.
no mini me. We don't know on the kitty.
on the scale of worst moments in your life, is that on the list at all? Like in top 10?
I've done worse. I've drank Jaeger from a shoe before.
Oh,
That's
shoot.
one of the stories you told me about.
Yep.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, Jaeger from a shoe. That happened.
So, what do y'all think about Justin Gaethje and Khabib? What do you think about that fight?
I think Khabib's going to rip him to shreds. I do. Khabib. I think
Khabib and Gaethje.
We're talking about Khabib and Gaethje right now. I think Khabib's going to rip him to shreds.
If
Hang up.
Always
Just
come
hang
with
up on him.
contradiction.
That's all you gotta do. Just hang up on him.
Cash said just
If it's-
hang up on him.
if it stays to the feet, possibly.
We need controversy though. It keeps it fresh.
True.
Now, what's
He can do that from the chat like everyone else.
Jimmy's right. Now, Jimmy's right.
Now, I will say that Gaethje...
No.
He did.
No, you're not.
The only thing he's not right on is that one thing.
Oh,
I was done talking to him.
Really? Oh, man. Chris is really mad.
He's really mad.
there you go.
Really mad.
Try that.
No. Sorry.
But Gaethje does have the chance to knock out Khabib. But what everyone's saying is Gaethje's going to get taken down if he lets
And
Khabib.
then it's over.
I mean, Connor had the ability to
But-
knock him out, but he went to the ground.
But it's up to Gaethje and his high level of wrestling to be able to get back up over and over and over again without getting gassed out like Khabib does to most wrestlers.
What was you saying, Jimmy?
He will take him down, but he will eventually catch him on a takedown.
I can see that.
Gaethje will knock him out.
But Gaethje does not wrestle when he fights.
I mean, win or lose though, it's going to be a dynamic fight, right?
Of course. Yeah, it's gonna be.
Because that would be nice to see, something very dynamic where it's...
Yeah. It'll be good.
I'd much rather see Conor versus Gaethje first.
Me too. I would too.
I mean, we
I feel like Dana took requests. Right?
Put it up to Daddy Dana.
So, what's next for Tony Ferguson?
Hey, Jimmy, your camera went off.
McGregor?
Okay. Huh? Yeah.
Tony and Connor.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight.
That would be a good.
Tony Diaz?
Ooh, Tony and Diaz, that'd be a good one.
Is
that's
Masvidal in the
gonna
mix
be-
at all?
what they're talking about.
He.
Conor and Diaz 3 on the same card as Gaethje and Ferguson. Or Gaethje and the Russian guy.
Khabib.
It's a Russian
The
guy.
guy we've been talking about this whole time.
Masvidal.
Which beer you on?
Which beer, y'all?
Bless it.
Usman and Masvidal will.
They have to fight.
They gotta fight. Yeah, I've been wanting to see that one. I think that'll be a good one.
I think now, Jimmy, see if you don't agree with me on this. Do you think that Masvidal has been kind of lucky?
I knew you was gonna ask that.
I don't think,
Uh-huh.
I don't think he believes in luck when it comes to fights.
Yeah, he.
Calculate that movement and you knew that Askren was a sloppy takedown guy.
Uh-huh.
And
I mean, that was
thought he was flying knee.
dumb on Ashton's part.
Yeah.
The Diaz fight, he beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, he did.
So, I mean, I don't see how.
Boy, I put too much.
Well,
Look at
for
this.
one, like if he
Look at this.
didn't, yeah, he threw all his
Need
his
something fruity.
technique into the flying knee straight out of the gate. If that didn't happen, right. But what I'm saying is, here's why I say that it's kind of lucky that he's been lucky for the past with Askren and with
Diaz.
Diaz. Yeah. The reason I'm saying that is because with Askren, he throws the flying knee. Yeah, you're right. He did plant it. But what would happen if that didn't connect?
Then he would just go on, and the fight would have looked a lot better, a lot more like the Diaz fight.
Do you think that Askren would have had a better chance of beating Masvidal?
Well, if he would have got him on the ground, I think Masvidal would have submitted him. Because Askren is too much of a wrestler and trying to pass all the time. And I just
Masvidal would have submitted him
Yeah, I think Masvidal would have submitted him from the bottom.
with submissions. Masvidal ain't. He's not a submission guy.
He would have submitted him.
I don't know.
Jay don't agree with that one.
I don't know. But
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I kind of agree with Jimmy there.
You agree with it. That's why it's right.
Well, the reason
But anyway, like I said,
the reason I'm asking is because how many fights has Masvidal won by submission?
well, exactly. He'd rather win.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
But Masvidal's Askren's kind of one-dimensional,
is.
whereas Masvidal's not. There's more liquidity there.
Masvidal's not known for his submissions, though. I mean,
He's a great striker.
But Connor's not either, and he has before.
True.
how many submission wins has he won? Look it up, Jamie.
Look at him.
It
Look
doesn't
at
matter. It doesn't matter.
Well, it does.
It
If you
matters.
say that-
Wait a minute. Think about Tony Ferguson.
You gotta look at the track record.
How do you rest him? Hey, think about this. If Ferguson would have took that fight the other day,
He's sub Michael Chiesa
if he'd have went to the ground against Gaethje, he would have
with a
won.
Dars.
But he wanted to stand up and fight.
Which
What
was
I
a
did?
mistake.
Yeah,
Yes. Like I said, but anyway, going back to
and that's it. That's the only one.
One submission.
well,
You're basing your argument on one submission.
how many do you need to win the fight?
Well, yeah, but I mean, how many times? I mean, what I'm saying is, yeah, actually, MMA math does not compute. So we
But-
don't know. I mean, we don't know.
One submission's all you need to win. And Ben Askren is so one-dimensional. He would have got him down. He would have tried to pass to the left side, tried to ground and pound, and Masvidal would have probably choked him.
Jimmy, I just said that.
I don't know. I know.
Jay, I love you, but
I know.
I do agree.
I know Jimmy's echo. We heard that.
Askren is one-dimensional, and Masvidal does have like more play there.
You would just accept. Just accept.
Oh, I take that back. Masvidal's got 2 submission
I
wins.
accept that I'm right and everybody
Who's the
else
other
is
one?
wrong.
I agree with you
Who's the
like
other one?
95% of the time.
This
Jay.
is wrong. Except when Jimmy's around.
Hey, he said my pad work looks good. That's all I need to know.
Validation.
Apparently,
Exactly.
flattery can get you everywhere.
I am a woman, guys.
He
It does get you somewhere.
he submitted Eric Reynolds at Bellator Fighting Championship 12.
On a serious note, when are we going to do the podcast from my deck?
Jimmy.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
He said that.
Oh.
That's what he
I don't
meant.
think we're allowed to do that, and I don't know if anybody would want to watch it. Yeah, let's see. That's a good question. We need to do a road trip.
Road trip.
Road
Podcast.
trip,
Hold on,
okay.
man.
I'm just
I'm
saying,
down.
I get a week. I get 2 weeks of vacation in July.
I get a week after July.
I'll be working for the rest of my life. Food.
No,
Come on.
Like I said, I'm sitting here in front of the fire right now.
I know.
Realize.
You suck because I'm sitting there going.
Wait, Jimmy,
Well,
do
Jimmy,
you have
come
food
here.
there?
He'll never come here. We'll have to go to him.
See, if there's good
He's
food,
too
I'm
good for
down.
us.
Oh yeah, we're gonna raid Jimmy's kitchen. That's a fact.
If the,
I'm a woman,
If
I can
Muhammad don't go to the mountain.
Hey, that's my kind of stuff
I'm
right there.
bringing the mountain
Raiding
to
the kitchen?
Muhammad.
The mountain to Muhammad.
So
So,
okay,
Going to Jimmy's.
Merchant Jimmy.
all right.
It's like weekend at Jimmy's.
I like it. I like it.
What's next on
I'm
the?
down.
Oh, let me ask you this. This isn't a UFC subject, but to switch gears, I seen a guy. He does this thing called Fight
Better
Tip.
not be a movie.
Huh?
Better not be about movies.
No, it ain't about movies. It's actually about fighting. But anyway,
So what was that movie again, Jay?
y'all seen how he really? Don't watch it. It sucks. That's all I wanted to say. What's the one we're going to talk about next? No, there's a guy that does a
YouTube.
a YouTube thing called Fight Tips.
Yeah.
Ever seen Fight
Yeah,
Tips?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy's he's a young kid, but he actually knows what he's talking
Yeah.
about a lot.
I think he's learned from a lot of vets and stuff like that. People.
I
that-
can vibe with that.
The last
Yeah,
one
he's-
that he put up, the last video that he put up, he was talking about he's changed his punching style. He said people when they fight, they ball their fist up and they throw their punches. You know, and they throw it out there, and their fist is tight the whole time.
Loose hands.
He said he does this. He loose even when he punches though. When you connect, he keeps his hand at a L and I was just like that don't dude, you're gonna break your hand. And I got the bag in my bedroom and I got up and I was just like I don't know if he's I don't know if he knows what he's talking about. But and I did Jimmy said I watched that with too to held his cast up. You didn't get that from that. Don't you lie. See how Jimmy lies?
Jimmy's a liar.
But I hit the bag like that and just used my knuckles with the open hand like that and hit it and it like he said to act like you're if you're gonna punch somebody.
Don't do
I'm
it.
not gonna hit you.
Don't do it.
I'm
But
just- do it. But if like say if I'm gonna hit him in the jaw or whatever, it's basically like pointing at his jaw,
Right.
except you're using your knuckle.
Yeah.
And which makes a whole lot of sense. But when you do this and you try to force it and try to force the snap, it's not as accurate as you would, which made a lot of sense.
When he hit like the impact, the initial, what direction was his hand?
He talks about that too, and he went into like extreme detail how you're supposed to hold your wrist and your arm, and he's talking about moving your bicep with your forearm. How you
Yeah,
bicep
because
goes
I'm
up.
weird.
Yeah.
When I
You know.
touch, I'm here, and then I turn it over. Because if you hit straight on this way, your muscle sheath is not engaged, and your bones are crossed, and it'll break it that way. So you want to be like steering wheel when you touch, and then you turn it over with your shoulder to keep all of that in line.
Yeah.
Because if not, like here, your arm is the weakest, and you'll snap both bones pretty easy because nothing is holding it together.
Only if you've not been drinking milk.
Who?
Saying.
I showed some video of him doing a boxing match and doing a Muay Thai match, and I don't know the number. Well, what's that matter? Why do you gotta have to go to the past? Like, I mean, how many submissions have you had? You know, it goes back to that.
I can't judge. Like,
Teach me how to change my 40 years of boxing.
Now, just a second ago, you said submitting Askren. See what it only got. You're so hard to talk to.
That's why Jimmy needs to be here. Y'all.
That's why you need
That's
to
why
be
Jimmy
here.
needs to
and-
be here.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yes,
We need-
yeah.
as long as Jay does not flip the table.
Scratch the whole
If we
Jimmy
go to South
project.
Carolina, I'm stuck.
Scratch the whole Jimmy project.
But then we get the fight we've all been wanting: Jimmy versus Jay Page.
Desiree would be like asking Jimmy, "Where's Jay? He's out in the car, he's crying in the back seat, just staring into space because of me." He's drinking Hennessy in the back seat of my van.
Spilling it everywhere.
He's crying so hard right now.
Spilling it everywhere.
Spilling it all on my floorboard.
So I'm trying to help Jimmy
What
out.
are you doing?
I can't.
Every single time. Every time.
I'm not gonna say that. I mean, the podcast we do, we don't really have problems. It's just
Start trying.
Oh.
Yeah, there is more people on this one.
Shots fired.
you got me on that one.
Because we're so popular, it can't handle it all.
Can't handle it.
Yeah.
Blowing up right now.
I can't help it that it's.
Give us time. Give us time. Give us time.
Shh, that was your out, Cash.
Did you see that picture that Cole posted of Jeremiah Harper?
Which one? There's been a lot.
Jimmy,
Tell him to.
The football picture.
I did.
Jimmy, no.
Is that the one he said that he was going to get a tattoo of if he loses?
I don't know. I haven't seen a picture.
That's the
I
one.
haven't seen the pictures. I saw the fight
Hold
date
on.
update.
I'll show you that.
Yeah, because there was one that he said that if I lose to this man, I promise you I will get a tattoo of it. And it's a picture of him like maybe 8, 9 years old, something like that.
When it
I
comes
really
to
don't know.
tattoos, like Chan don't
I'm not gonna
play.
pull it up.
So
Don't worry.
bad.
I thought we agreed not to talk.
Yeah.
I used to be messed up myself.
You can't help yourself. And the more you're going to drink, the more you're going to pull this shit out of your ass and be like, let's talk about this.
Pretty much.
It's because
Oh,
Jimmy
there it
is
is.
personally
Oh, my
triggered
God,
by it,
Chris.
though.
It's not going to pull up on the actual stream. It's just going to pull up here. No one else can see it but us.
Look at there.
I
If he
promise
beats
you.
us.
See, that's just us. No one
Why
else can
you-
see.
why-
Jimmy brought it up. I'm making Jimmy happy.
co-signing? Why are you co-signing for this shit?
I'm
Because
not.
he came after Jimmy personally.
He did.
Why are you protecting him, JP?
He needs protection.
I want to, yeah, he needs to be in a mental hospital.
I'm just trying to.
Oh, man.
Wait, that
Like,
picture
bragging
is
on
this
Jay,
guy?
though, he's trying
No.
to, you know.
Oh, okay.
I'll show you. I'll show you.
Yeah. Sometimes it
Turn
means
to
take
die.
it.
Jimmy is my evil twin.
So,
He is.
look at Jay.
It's so
Look at
funny.
Jay.
Jay's like,
I'm showing Turf what Jimmy looks like.
Why'd you point at me for?
Cause that's your evil twin, bud.
Fuck you.
It really does look like you, though.
angel and the
Seriously?
devil.
Yeah.
If you would have showed me that picture, it's like, this is Jay Page. And I'd been like, yep, that's Jay Page.
Oh, no.
Oh, there's him and his daddy.
Wait a minute. Shut up.
After your box with Jeremiah Harper, the reason you give him that belt is because he's never won anything in his life, right?
Oh my God,
Uh-oh.
dude!
I thought you didn't want to talk about this, Jay Page.
I'm changing the subject.
Turn the subject. Turn the subject. Turn the
You're like,
subject.
Stop it! Huh?
So how about them Cowboys,
How
guys?
about them Cowboys? You know, hey,
I'd like you to win a game.
I hear
You know what I
Dak's a
mean?
pretty good quarterback. And,
You want to talk about playoffs?
Didn't
I heard Jeremiah's a Redskins fan.
Been having Dave Cooley in here.
Where you hang out? You're such a dick.
Can I show you him live right
Yeah, we are.
now? Okay.
There's nothing to be talking about. About that Overeem Walt Harris fight. You see that?
Yeah.
I did not.
Actually, man,
Tell me about that.
so my thoughts on that one, man. I
Oh, I know.
You're going to answer that question.
No.
no.
The freedom of speech. I take.
Look, he's never won anything in his life.
The Constitution has a Fifth Amendment that actually says and clearly states that I don't have to speak.
You're a man, and I'm
Ouch.
Pulling out the man card.
Oh,
You're a man, JP. Be a man. Answer the question.
You're being a man by not lowering yourself.
just going to have the balls to back up.
Oh. When you pull out the
don't
balls
you have to
card, you
have the
kind
balls
of
to back
have
up?
to answer it.
Ryan, please
Yeah.
help me.
yeah. So
Help me.
that was a good fight. Honestly, it was a good fight.
I didn't see it. Can you tell me like the play-by-play?
It was a good fight. But the thing
I
is,
think
like,
Overeem should have been stopped in the first round.
Yeah. And I didn't like that fight too, man. Both of the guys, they're good guys. They're good fighters. I hated to see. That's one of them fights you hate to see either one of them lose, man.
I wanted Walt to win just for what happened to his daughter.
with his daughter, man. It's
That was hard
it's,
to watch.
Yeah,
That was
you know
so
he
hard
was
to
wanting to. You know he was wanting to win. Obviously, you know because he's really kind of just fighting for her.
That went into detail before the fight started,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sitting there. I got two girls. Yeah, I got two daughters, and they're talking about all this, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
hearts in my throat.
Yeah, man.
before
I mean,
the
it
fight
was-
starts.
it was crazy. It's crazy.
But she was about the same age as, and that is my number one fear,
Mhm.
that something happens to one of my babies.
Yeah.
And I will just lose my Jimmy. Just
He put us on pause. He got another call.
Oh, who's more important than us, Jimmy?
that's Jeremiah calling. I'm gonna come up there to South Carolina and kick your ass.
Jimmy,
It's an up
who
or
is
down.
that
Can you tell the
bitch?
difference?
But yeah, it just it just
It's tough.
sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked.
Yeah.
Because he had to be in the courtroom where the guy that did what it is that he done, that shot his little girl, and he had to sit there and like be okay with it. I mean, dude,
Yeah.
it's like what stopped you from
So this happened recently? Like,
Yeah.
with this little girl?
Within the past year.
Yeah,
How old was she?
19.
So she literally just started life.
I know.
If I was a judge, I'd have pulled him over to the side and be like, look, You got about 10 seconds, and then we're gonna pull you off.
And if
do
I was
what
that
you gotta
guard-
do in that 10 seconds.
If I was the bailiff inside that courtroom, I'd be like, no, stop, don't.
no,
I'd be
don't stop.
I'd have a nail file just.
My taser wasn't charged today. I left my bullets at the house.
I better do something here in a minute.
Man,
And I call squall, and I'll be like, "Hey, what's up?
What's
Ain't
up?
nothing? They're over.
What's the screaming going on in the background? Yeah, it's a TV show.
Get him off! God Almighty!
it takes a lot of.
It amazes me how
strength.
what kind of evil just comes up into my
Bro.
head. Where I wouldn't want to kill the guy. I wouldn't.
I just
I
beat
would-
that.
That's too easy, to be
That's-
honest.
yeah.
I would.
You know, I don't have any daughters or any. I have a dog. That's my daughter.
Mhm.
And if somebody does something to my dog, it's probably about the same way. But I could only imagine if I did have a daughter,
Yeah.
that did happen.
Jesus, man. Jesus. And just that is
So
life.
what's next for Walt after this fight?
Is he ranked in the top 10?
Mhm.
He's like 9, isn't he? I don't know.
I don't know
He
where
needs
you
to
go
work
from
on
there.
it. He needs to work on his wrestling. I know that.
Yeah.
He needs to work on his ground because when you got, it reminded me of Chris beating the shit out of me on Top Gun. It's hard to shake somebody that fuck you. It's hard to shake somebody that knows what they're doing. That's got like wrestling ability where you're trying to get them off of you, and the whole time you're getting hit in the face.
Well, isn't it right now too in the UFC, wrestlers are dominating, and those that
Yeah,
don't
they
have that base, it's
It's like you're
starting to
automatic.
level
And
change.
I mean, it's you don't even have to have like a high level of wrestling. Just the basics will get you through most of it.
And Khabib's done it his entire life.
Yeah, and I mean,
like
and all the
long
stuff
people.
Khabib does isn't really.
fancy at all.
It's not. He's not a highlight reel chaser. Nothing
He's-
like that.
He's a boring fight to watch.
He is. He's
But-
a lot of people hate him because of
Yeah.
his fight style, but
he
how fucking effective has it
so
been?
effective.
Well, that's what I love about wrestling too. It's one thing if you knock somebody out, but if they grind you for 3 rounds, it breaks something in your soul, and that's
yeah.
more of a win than just knocking somebody out, because
Or
that's
5.
chance.
Or
Yeah.
5.
But
Joe
when
Rogan,
you're
he described it the best. He said he looks like a spider injecting venom into his prey.
Yeah.
like it
And it does.
breaks
It looks like he
you.
just drank.
It's like when Khabib fought Edson Barboza. Edson's face towards like the
I was
third
gonna say that.
third round was like,
Y'all came
dude, get him off me for the love
the
of.
look of
You was
just
like, why?
hopelessness.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing he could have done. And when he got back up, Khabib was on his hips again, grinding for another takedown, and would take him down.
I wish the camera was on our face watching this because we were all just going.
Oh,
Just look,
Yeah.
concerned.
Why?
And then I looked around and Dwayne was there
Yeah.
and you was there and was you there?
yeah.
Yeah, that was the night you and Devin came over.
Yeah.
That was the moonshine night. And I was going.
We don't talk about that.
And I looked around and I, went,
Cherry.
I seen everybody going like they were watching somebody else.
Somebody
Yeah.
getting-
I was like, I started
getting
laughing, and I was like, we're sitting here watching, witnessing just somebody getting face raped in
Yeah.
Las
Yeah.
Vegas, and we're paid money to see
I mean,
this
dude,
crap.
I mean,
And I don't know about you guys, but for me, I think that's so much more satisfying than a win when you break somebody's soul like that to the point they don't want it anymore. Like, what can you do to
and
somebody that's
gentlemen,
going to be worse than that?
The blue tick.
This is the difference between a man fighting and a woman fighting. When I say, when men fight, we try to hurt each other.
Yeah.
Right.
When women fight, they try to kill each other because
Well,
they
yeah.
say, I want her dead. I want her family dead. I want her soul. I want to burn down her house. I want to erase her history from the world. I want her lineage destroyed. She turns into Xerxes.
But if you look at it too, the way the men fight and the way the women fight, that's the big difference. Men are fighting to
man.
win or really just to not lose.
Yeah.
But when women fight, we're fighting to obliterate your whole everything.
Wipe them off.
so Turf, whenever I told you that I'm gonna have this crazy girl over later,
You did say,
He was talking about me.
he was like, yo, this girl's crazy, but
She's bald with a goatee. It's kind of weird.
she's not with a
Honestly,
goatee.
I kind of blame you guys on that because when you spent 4
whoops.
years hanging with the guys and you have to like find a way to keep up, it changes a person.
okay, it's not my fault. You want to murder
7
someone's
days
whole
later,
family.
you're gonna ask Like,
Put that evil on
kill.
No man.
So if she ever goes off the wall and kills somebody, she's blaming us. Is this what I'm getting off this?
They make TV shows about you.
It's called Criminal Minds, and
Criminal
you
Minds.
never find them because
Miami, it's called.
bodies mean evidence.
It's called. What is it? Snapped. It's called. Yeah.
There was a Criminal Minds episode where they didn't find bodies, but they
Think
still
about
found
this.
them.
Body means
Just
evidence.
saying.
Think about
You really
this.
think our investigators
I
know that?
mean,
Oh, yeah.
Think about this for a
This is
second.
Salt County, guys.
Serial killers are usually men. You never find a female serial killer. You want to know why?
85%.
Because they get away. They're smart enough to get away with it.
and her name is Carol Baskins.
Hey!
Killed her husband, whacked him.
So
away with it.
My
So-
dad always said if you're gonna do
A
something,
couch?
if you're
Do-
gonna get
do it
caught,
right.
don't do it. If you're not gonna get caught, then it's cool, fair game. But if you're gonna get caught, don't do it, guys.
So since Jimmy's no longer here, Jay, have you watched the Tiger King yet?
I've not seen it.
I saw an episode and I wanted to take a shower after I got done. It was like
Ruh-roh,
watching
Raggy.
it was like watching
Hey,
Game of
Jay.
Thrones.
Jay, I hate to stop you. Just look at the TV real
We've got a
quick.
troll in the chat.
Oh,
What's up? Y'all want to talk about couches real quick, like for the rest of the program? Sure, couch. I don't know much about flying, but I could definitely kick that ball.
Is it?
Who's couch?
I could take the
Couch-
chick probably too.
take-
Ooh!
Oh,
Ouch.
oh.
We got them trolls out there. You heard me?
So that happens when people like you. You got haters.
Facts.
Okay.
Oh, let me be a keyboard warrior for a second.
I love keyboard warriors
you'll-
because
hold
it's
up.
safe to say behind
I got
my
you.
butt.
It's okay. I'm not really scared of somebody called couch.
Coucherson?
couch.
Also, I'm kind of offended that they assume gender because I'm pretty sure my dick is bigger.
Oh! XXRB up down. Oh.
He don't want.
Go on record with
He done the
that.
cheat code.
I done.
Told you.
I done put the cheat code in chat. XXXRB up down. He about to get the smoke.
Couch is love. Couch is life.
I mean, the couch is love.
All right. What about Anthony's? Okay. I seen.
Oh, did you see the?
Chael Sonnen talked about Smith and Teixeira. And he
Did you see
went off on Teixeira or
His corner.
Yeah, Smith's corner.
Yeah.
He was like, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I would have a hard time throwing in the towel with anybody. I
Right.
would, because I know how my mindset is. I mean, when I'm fighting, like I've had 18 fights, and none of them went the distance.
Yeah.
I either get carried out or they get carried out. It's just like that. And I go in to finish. You want to?
I want him
finish.
dead.
Yeah.
They want him dead.
Even when you're like getting the absolute piss beat out of you, you want it to go the distance to be like, I want every single solitary opportunity I can have in order to finish this fight. The referee put all the blame on him. Chael Sonnen put all the blame on Smith's corner. And Anthony Smith was like, I don't give a shit. I'm chilling with my daughter at the house right now, getting paid.
I mean,
Did you hear him? Just like they had the camera like on his corner, and he was like, "My teeth is about to fall out."
My teeth
Literally,
falling out.
yeah, literally. So.
Everything's broken in my face.
there's a part where Teixeira was on Smith's back, like tagging him.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he hands his tooth to the referee
ref.
and
Yeah.
say, "Can you do
Well-
something with this? Make a necklace?"
Well, Teixeira, Teixeira was like,
think this is
Teixeira was like, I'm sorry for this, man.
He's like, it's not.
It is,
personal.
and Smith goes, it is what it is, man. It's
Yeah.
business.
During the fight,
Smith is
he was
tough.
saying that.
He's a tough dude.
He was
man.
saying that during the fight.
Yeah, but
during
like
the
you
fight,
said,
yeah.
we all know Smith can finish anybody like that. So what if he managed to sit there and just got his ass whooped for 3 rounds, got up and just clocked Glover one time and knocked him out?
Well, like with Sam Burns. Sam Burns was beating the shit out of me for 3 rounds and caught him with a guillotine. Last 10 seconds of the 3rd round. Let's see, I can't say Matt Castle. Can't say
Can't say
yeah,
Matt
those
Castle.
need to be stopped a long time ago. But yeah, I mean, you choke somebody, that's the great eraser right there. It's like Deontay Wilder. He gets beat up through boxing, through some of these guys, like Ortiz, when he fought Ortiz. Ortiz was piecing him up, and then he's got that eraser.
nuclear bomb.
That's why I
right
tell every fighter, there's a puncher's chance in there. Don't underestimate anybody because
every fight.
it can happen.
Yeah.
Like, they can take punishment for 3 rounds and hit you out of nowhere.
Yeah.
When I first started fighting, one thing I learned while I was fighting was when Chris Huffman, he had the top game, and he was beating me up for about 2.5 minutes, and I'm sitting there going, okay, I got my arms up, and this is the nightmare that fighters have. They don't work. Chael Sonnen, I don't like Chael Sonnen. He gets on my nerves. When he talks like this and pronounces everything. When he speaks.
He gets
but
so hyped.
He said
He's got
something
that
that was...
enunciation down.
It's
pretty good, Jay. How'd that go?
I'm just repeating what he does. But he made a good point. He said a fighter is not scared of losing the fight. A fighter is scared of getting tired. And you don't understand that unless you fought.
Yeah.
When Huffman was hitting me, I'm sitting there like this, and he's hitting my arms, and all the blood and bruising's going up to my arms, and I'm sitting there thinking, if I can barely hold my arms up to defend myself from him punching me in the head, how am I going to punch him to end this?
Right.
Is what my thought process was. So I was like, I gotta get out of here. And then that's why I like submissions, guillotine.
Yeah.
Well, that and they're not disputable either. You sub somebody and that's it. There's
It's
no,
just like
it's
a
not
knockout.
anybody's opinion.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just glad grappling's part of the whole fight game. Otherwise,
Fighting's not my
I
thing.
wouldn't have a whole lot of wins.
It's like comparing apples to oranges, but there's something that's so much different about grappling.
Oh yeah.
Like,
why
it
I'd
hits
rather
you
have
in
a
such
pistol.
a different way.
I don't fight nobody.
Just love it. Say what?
I don't fight nobody. I got 15 rounds to say you won't touch me. I promise you.
I mean, that's why I'm so thankful for my background and how I got into MMA is my wrestling background, because it's helped me out quite a bit in some fights. I mean, that's what Jay has told me to do every fight. He's like, you're gonna take this guy down, you're gonna beat the hell out of him, we're gonna have a good night and go have a couple beers. I'm like, okay, here we go.
What I did was I emulated my fight style straight into yours because I didn't have wrestling background. All the wrestling I did, it feels totally naturally. You either naturally like the ground, or you
You hate it.
Yeah, you like stand up. Blake, he's a stand up guy. Nick, he's a stand up guy. I like ground. You like ground.
Love it.
Love it. Love ground.
You got to learn to love the ground.
It's,
You got to learn to love the
You gotta
ground.
learn
Not.
yeah.
You
love
definitely
stand
got
up too, because
True.
100% of the time the fight starts on the feet.
A lot of people don't like to get. Well, look, take Brock Lesnar. He's. I mean, he'll throw some bombs, but
Brock Lesnar's
Not
problem
like he
was his training camp. When he'd have other big guys there to wrestle and spar with, they wouldn't really throw shots to the head. So he never got used to taking a heavyweight shot to the face going, oh shit, that hurts. Let me learn how to stand up and counter this instead of countering away. He learned how to counter away from it.
It's really, really hard. Like, the last hard spar match I had, it was my last concussion. And there were some people in the gym that talked about I got my ass kicked. But I knew as soon as they threw a hook and a roundhouse to the head. And she outweighed me. She was probably about 145. I'm 115. And she's probably about 5'7". I stand 5'4".
Yeah.
Carol Baskin.
No.
Fuck that.
But I knew as soon as I got hit with that shot, like, everything's so slow when
Smack.
you're fighting at that intensity. It's weird. You think it would be all fast paced, but it's so slow.
Yeah,
and in
people-
my brain, I thought, I'm leaving here with a concussion. The smart thing would be to stop now because this is just training. But I thought, if I'm going to be in a fight, I can't stop. So we went the whole round, and we both left with concussions.
Your damn ears ringing, your head hurts, your
Yeah, like, you
vision's
know,
like
as soon
this.
on
you just-
impact, like, you know you're leaving with a concussion.
Oh, I
because
can't
it
tell you
rocks
how many concussions
everything.
I've had during a training camp from sparring. I mean,
I've seen Fedor before one of his drills. They'll stand in one spot and hold their arms out
And spin.
They'll spin as hard as they can
Yeah.
to get that dizzy feeling. Like
and then they're like,
and then they'll stop and stop. They're like,
I mean, it's
it's on a merry-go-round.
That's funny.
that's the problem. A lot of people don't train for that initial first hit. I mean,
yeah.
that first hit is gonna feel like you're getting tagged super hard no matter what that punch is, just because.
It feels like a TV set.
It just
shoots
Yeah.
really hard, and you see that. Bzz, bzz,
Yeah.
bzz, and it
Yeah.
don't hurt.
You're
until
just
the next
like,
day.
okay, we're here.
The next day, you're like,
It either wakes you up or you're just like, whoa.
No, I don't want to do
Yeah.
this no more.
I mean,
Yeah.
people
That'd be
that, want to sit on
100% be
and
me.
talk crap, that's one thing. But if you've never been in that position where it rocks you and you know you're leaving brain damaged, but you keep pushing forward, it takes so much heart to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because that's sheer will right there. People aren't made to take stuff like that and just be like, cool.
Yeah.
Couch wanted you to know that couches don't have dicks, dummy.
I'm pretty sure that was the point of my comment.
And he said he got into a fight once. They broke his glasses and kicked a can of mustache wax into the butt with his shoes.
It's not called mustache wax. Get it right, buddy.
it's called balm.
It is called bomb.
That wasn't mustache wax, and that wasn't his foot. Just saying, Couch.
Oh,
Oh, ouch. Ouchie.
have you ever been to prison?
I've heard stories.
But I mean,
I had to.
a lot of these guys sit here and say, "Yeah, I could fight anybody, take them out." They've never took a clean shot, like from somebody that knows how to actual.
Shane Hill cracks me up because he always talks about that. And it's like, these guys would say, I black out, yo. I black out, and then I don't know what happens. That's the reason I don't do MMA.
It's called you got knocked out.
Jimmy talks about that when he was a bouncer at the Hog. He said that a guy will be fighting and stuff, and one of the bouncers would knock him out, and then he'd wake up and be like, "You won, dude.
You won,
Dude, man, you won, bro."
I've been a bouncer. I know how that is.
He's drunk and he's addled and just woke up from being unconscious. He's like, "Yeah, I kicked his ass, dude." Yeah, man, got it on camera.
Dude. I mean,
Right
Good
on.
night.
See you, bye.
and that's what sets a martial artist apart from anybody else, is that learning of, oh, I'm pissed off, I got to stay calm to be able to defend myself in the proper way. I mean, we've all been in that situation where, like, okay, this guy's coming after me, he's really pissed off, I've got to stay calm and just take care of the situation. Well, that guy's like, and the
Throwing everything.
5 seconds later, he's like, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
dink.
What I think is worse is them not being pissed off. It's when they're scared.
Yeah.
Because then they're throwing everything into it, and it's one of those you don't know what you're getting, because when that fear takes over, like, they're just swinging to survive,
Yeah.
and that's a totally different feel.
Yeah.
There's been many nights where I've done it. I mean, I used to be a bouncer at a club, and I went up some pretty big dudes, and I look behind me, fear being a bouncer. I'm like, I got this. Anytime I say code black, I need you to run in. And I've looked behind me, and I ain't got nobody behind me. And there's been times where I was so scared, I was like, I'm gonna die tonight.
I hated bouncing.
This is gonna be the night.
Hated bouncing.
And then,
It's adult babysitting.
oh yeah,
Hands
I
up.
will never.
I'm gonna tell you something right now.
Oh yeah.
Just go.
I
got
kicked the
this.
guy out. We were best friends on the way out, and then once I got him outside, I was the worst person he's ever met in his life. Yo, you kicked me out, and I was like, man, we were just talking, like,
And they take it
Like, no, bro.
personal.
yeah,
Like you offended their mama or something.
exactly. I was like, man, all you have to do is just go home tonight, tomorrow night, come back in.
Talk about it.
Yeah,
Don't
what?
forget about it.
Yeah, man. People.
So,
What?
I just gotta ask y'all, what do y'all think about this whole Fight Island nonsense?
I like the idea.
Spot on.
It just sounds badass.
Now, it does sound
Fight
badass, and it sounds like a good idea. It does, because, you know, Mortal Kombat and
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
Finish him.
Let me ask you this. I've talked to 2 Sullivan County Sheriff's detectives.
Yeah.
Both of them said, you know how many COVID cases there are in the whole Sullivan County?
3?
2.
Oh.
There's 2.
As of 2 days ago.
And it's almost 100% recovery rate.
But people are still flipping out over it.
What are we doing? You know, everybody's like, is this bullshit or not? Nobody's saying that it's not a real thing. Nobody's saying that people aren't dying from it.
Right.
But, come on. I mean, the solution is a mask, which even Fauci, is that his name? He even said on 60 Minutes, it doesn't work.
Well, I would deal with asbestos unless you got an MP respirator with the purple cartridges and you have negative pressure. You've got stuff emissions coming in and out. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't protect you unless you have that. So the mask, it's still coming in and out.
Right.
And another thing that I still don't understand that no one has explained to me is why in the hell are they lumping all the deaths as a coronavirus death?
Well, see, they're tired of the meth around here. 100%. Everybody's laughing 100%.
What?
East Tennessee, meth.
Well, what about meth?
All the meth. I don't. See, that's a conspiracy of mine. 100% Sullivan County.
Wait a minute.
All the, like, because we're known for meth.
Look what you did, Cash.
What? What do I do?
We're talking about this.
Sorry.
Actually, I kind of
Hold
veered
up
us
the
off.
horse there.
I veered us off.
What up,
And-
Jay Cash, my dude?
Look, now we can go back to
But
it.
what now?
I think they're just using this. Yes, they only say 2 cases, right?
Right.
Okay, but with all the deaths, how many deaths have there been in Tennessee?
I don't-
Total.
Have there been any deaths?
There's been a couple, but I don't think the total is up to 10.
Well, from,
And was it coronavirus?
See,
I've
that's
seen
what I'm
reports
saying.
Where they're lumping it together, where it's this
Yes.
or that. Like
It's the 5G towers. They're
feel like
putting it
the
out
big thing
100%.
we
Oh
really
God!
don't
Don't even
know.
get me started on that stupid shit.
Just put their chemicals into the river. Look at the frogs go.
Eastman James.
yep.
And it pisses me off. It pisses me. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you about this supplement I've been having.
What they're doing, they're tying Corona basically to anything. Like I'm serious.
Why
Like,
are they? That's my question.
Maybe.
Why are they doing that?
Because everybody's
They're-
scared. I think the government
So,
uses something to
as of-
scare people.
Well, yeah, it's a political.
As of
move.
May 19th, in the state of Tennessee, there's 18,378 total cases and 305 deaths.
But you got to think most of that's probably Memphis and Nashville.
well,
The highest
Yeah, that's
rate
where-
Coronavirus deaths.
that's what I'm saying. Hold on.
Nobody knows.
Like what like if how they're tagging it is basically it doesn't matter if you died of a heart attack, if you had some sort of like if you tested you had corona or whatever, they're still labeling it as a corona death. Even though you died from the heart attack, they're still labeling it as a corona death.
And coming from
I know.
someone that's trained for the medical
Yeah.
field, that was going like I went to school to be an EMT. The big thing is it's like the flu. It attacks your respiratory system. It attacks your pulmonary system. So even if you have the flu, what you typically die from is not the flu itself. It's from the like
fluid in
getting
your around
the
your
influence,
lungs.
like the bronchitis and the pneumonia after, and that's the
She's
big
not
thing.
wrong.
So when it attacks both systems, it's not necessarily
why are
the
they saying-
coronavirus that kills
Which
you.
goes back to my
It's
question.
the after effects of what it leaves.
Why are they calling it coronavirus?
Jay, this is your
The
fault.
government needs to control.
This conversation's your fault.
There's other
You brought it up.
there's
No, you brought it up.
Yeah, I kind of veered it
Well,
off.
look, we now live what? It's similar to post 9/11 world now because our rights have kind of been stripped for the like whatever of the population. Like it's done the same thing essentially.
It's the millennials' fault wanting socialism.
No.
It's actually Generation Z.
Don't. Wait.
I'm a millennial, but I don't believe in socialism.
Wait, what year were you born?
96.
You're actually Generation Z. That's a misconception. 94, 5, and above is Generation Z.
Well, yeah,
thing
baby
is, we
boomer,
don't-
baby
the thing
boomer
is,
over here.
You met Miss Google over there?
let's go.
Hey,
I
calm
don't
down,
know,
boomer.
useless
Calm down,
knowledge,
boomer.
Okay, boomer.
Like we don't like
Hey, I'm Gen Z. Some of them.
Actually, wait, what year were you born?
73.
Whoa. Whew.
You're actually
Okay,
probably
boomer.
73. I'm Generation X. I'm smack dab in
you?
the middle.
Okay, because I know Johnny, I think, is technically Generation. He's technically a millennial.
I was
and you guys,
Jesus in the
age
third
Donnie.
grade.
Because we looked it up one day, we all went and got Mexican and stuff, and we had this debate. Donnie Ward.
Oh.
We had this debate, and we sat there and like looked
Mr.
up all
Bird
the
might be
years, which is
correct.
why I know that because
Ooh,
he's
Harold.
actually a millennial.
Harold Bird said, I heard hospitals get paid more for the COVID-19 than the
Why
flu.
are they doing that?
that's what I was trying to
Government.
we don't know. Like we don't know. Like maybe there could be some
There's
other
already
method to the
cure out
madness,
there.
what they're doing.
See, I've heard that
don't know.
from a guy that works in the factory with Antifa and stuff
Supposedly.
down in Chattanooga. They have a vaccine. Plant A can.
You want
make
me?
it
You want me to
quicker
start
than
something
Plant
else?
B,
Go ahead.
but it's not administered yet.
Did you know that dog dewormer kills cancer cells?
Oh gosh. We go from Tide Pods. Now we're going to dog dewormer.
So, Cash, how does somebody like acquire that knowledge? He's gonna look it up.
Oh my God. Dog dewormer kills cancer cells. What? I mean, all cancer? Or
Yeah, yeah.
cancer? Or
And what are the side effects?
It says don't have some
I've heard
cancer.
marijuana
That's what I wanna know.
and a
What
low
are-
sugar diet does the same thing. So, what makes you different than a
I
pothead and
had
somebody
throat
that
cancer,
used
but
to
I'm
dog
taking
meds?
this medication.
pot.
Oh!
Hold up.
I'll take
How
fight all
pissed
day.
drunk does someone have to get to decide to take their dog meds?
Would you find it on CNN? Is that where you found that
But,
at?
I
No.
don't-
Fake news.
So I have a family friend that has cancer. He's going through like his third stages of chemo treatment, and his doctor said dewormer can kill some cancer cells.
Okay,
Is this
so it's
proven?
legit.
Is this false hope?
Is there like a
Like,
clinical
hey man,
study or something
yeah,
like
it's
that?
gonna happen.
That's what I'm
But
trying to
here,
find
try
out
this
now.
dewormer, and you might live a couple more days.
Have you tried CBD oil?
I mean, there's honestly
essential.
a whole bunch of stuff like that they can't like prove, but low sugar diets, cancer feeds on sugar in your body. If you have a low sugar diet, it makes you less susceptible. It has less to eat, it starves and dies. Marijuana has been proven that it does have effects with that. There's a whole bunch
Legalize
of
it.
natural stuff.
Facts.
Joe Rogan.
But
Save us, Joe Rogan.
Save us.
I thought you were Joe Rogan Jr.
Hey,
Oh,
Tennessee's not far.
There is something that I want to do with the podcast. I got on YouTube, and there is a compilation of heated arguments that he's had with guests that he's had on his podcast.
Uh-oh.
And sometime, it don't have to be tonight, or we could do it next time or whatever, but we'll put it on the screen and we can all watch these arguments and put our 2 cents. We can pause it and talk about it.
Okay.
Who's that?
Jimmy's back.
What's up,
who's
Jimmy?
Boo.
Back again. Jimmy's back.
Cut off or take another call.
Reminds me of like Travis Little.
Cause you
He's
did.
right 99.9% of the
Just
time, but because the way he
Just hit the
comes
camera
across,
button.
people
Just hit the
don't like
camera button on him.
Jimmy, you did audio. That's why.
Turn him around here. Let me look at him. Let me look at him. Turn him around here.
Chris wants to talk to you.
Hey, buddy.
I
Hey.
agree with you most of the
What are you
time.
doing, good looking?
He was the one that wanted to cut you off, Jimmy. Remember that.
You look good. You've had a little to drink, bud? How much? What are you drinking?
Are we having an intervention right now?
No,
we just,
Hey.
I just wanted to.
Oh,
we know-
I'm drinking
Toilet paper.
We love you.
Well,
We
it's
love you. But
can of blast with some.
you've got to start
Some
with the we love you so they don't feel
pineapple
like they're
juice.
being attacked
Exactly.
personally.
It's a good one.
Uncontrollable urge to lick yourself.
Yes, I went there.
So you gotta
I
hear.
haven't had that yet.
Nothing. Just mind your own business, Jay. Just Jay talks shit about you all the time.
I do not. I do not. That's a lie. That's a damn lie.
Said him laughing.
I don't believe you because I don't think
Why
Jay
do you
Page talks
do
bad about
that?
anybody.
Well, do what?
You start shit all the time.
Oh, you gotta stir it.
I think those that stir the pot should lick the spoon.
Say hi to your brother.
Say something I said back.
Jay
about
Page, you got a twin?
That's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's my twin. You didn't know that?
That's Jimmy. That's the guy I was showing you pictures of.
Wait, can we get a side by side of that?
We're gonna have to take a picture and
Yeah.
throw it up.
Brother from another mother.
Wait, you want me to say one?
Make some shit up is what I'm asking.
You said Jimmy Neely shouldn't have stood that fight up between you and Sam Burns when you had that triangle.
I wish. No, that is not what I said. Let's put this into context, asshole. I said, I wish that what I said was, I wish I had a little bit more time, but Jimmy made me.
Oh,
I was trying to finish.
you go, Jay.
Oh God.
Fuck you. You see what you're doing?
See what happens.
See what he did.
See what happens here. He said, look at Oh.
And
Yeah,
that's
did I?
what started the apocalypse.
Well, that
that's
makes you
what
look like
started
a
the
wife too.
apocalypse.
You know that, right? Alright.
Here it goes.
So what happened in that fight? Nothing.
So Jay was in guard. Was it a triangle or was it a guillotine? It had to be a triangle.
I was in no. What happened was I was in guard. I was trying to. I was.
Oh,
We don't know because you didn't give me time to try.
Oh my gosh. Here it goes.
I don't know. It's,
why are you looking at me, Jay? What did I
it's your
do?
dick.
No.
Jay spent years just trying to finish.
I know. At the end of the fight, whenever he finally tapped, and I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, you can see Jimmy jump up about 10 feet in the air, like, it's over! It's over! He fucking won! Yeah, I mean, he won.
He won. Good job, guys. Good job.
Good job, person I never met before in my life.
So would you say that was that referee in that fight was the most biased ref you've ever had?
Most biased. I won that fight. I did. I pulled that completely out of my ass.
Hey, listen to this. What if he was Jerry Bentley? His first fight after he left my school, when I closed down, he went to Casey's. He gets caught in a triangle. I see him tap, but I act like I didn't.
Oh, and the truth's come out.
Here it comes.
So this is what the refs. See, this is why I don't fight. This reason right here.
But on the flippity flip with that, when I had my first jiu-jitsu match, he subbed in for Chris Bond because me and Chris like are good friends and talk every day. So he actually subbed in for him so it wouldn't look biased. So on the flippity flip, like he does try to keep it kind of even.
I don't know.
Shenanigans.
Even though somehow I didn't see Jimmy in the cage.
So now I
the
know
whole
why
entire
Jeremiah
match.
Harper doesn't want Jimmy Neely to ref his fight. It all makes sense now. It's all the clear.
Here it goes again, right here.
Chris, I got a question for you. Who the fuck is Jeremiah Harper?
Oh. Do we need to pull the picture back up?
There's no pot stirring
I
though,
know
bro.
where this is going. I know the end of this movie. No, the amateurs don't have contracts. No, I've never had an amateur contract ever.
Exactly, but Jeremiah said all of his contracts said Jimmy Neely couldn't ref his fight.
Try that with a little bit, like a little
Is
shot of
that really in
Fireball.
writing?
Don't do Fireball. Fireball.
It tastes like
is
cinnamon
disgusting.
toast crunch. Go ahead.
Some people say it's cinnamon.
Do like
It's not, is
a
it?
double shot of that,
Hold up, if I decide to ref that fight, I'm refing that fight.
Do you feel kind of singled out?
and then
Sure.
a shot of Fireball. In
Do you
that.
feel slighted?
Just like horchata.
It's from Chata Fireball. Cinnamon toast crunch.
Who gets?
Fighting Sam Burns calls timeout.
It's gonna taste like the cinnamon toast crunch milk.
They're no
Okay,
timeouts
if
in
you
MMA.
go to a Mexican restaurant
There can be.
and try some horchata.
Ooh, I know what you're talking about.
It's basically rice water.
Stir it up just a smidgen. Just
If
stir
you
it.
call timeout, that's an indication that you quit.
Well, yeah.
There's timeouts in MMA.
Like unless you get unless you get jumped or you get hit in the jump, there's no pause.
Oh.
Twice, JP. And then I said, you can't call timeout. Keep fighting.
I saw what you did, Jimmy. You just sucked us
Oh,
right
hold
back
on,
into this
let me pour.
conversation.
Put some ice. Put some ice in there. I'll pour another one.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about right now, aren't you?
What, Jeremiah Harper? Is that what
You
you're
called
saying?
us.
Jeremiah Harper.
I've never heard
I
of
don't
it.
see your bullshit.
I didn't until this happened.
Channel, please.
The only reason I knew this because I got Chandler on Facebook and he was posting
Right?
stuff.
Like, I didn't know until this.
And then Chandler's like, I'm going to be fighting this man
I'm
June
crazy, I'm not
20th, but now it's moved to October.
That movie with Johnny Knoxville when he acted like he was in Special Olympics to win.
Oh, the ringer.
The ringer.
You scratched my CD.
How you felt when you fought Jeremiah Harper? You felt like you.
Oh my God! Do you see what?
I didn't call him. He called us.
So is it bad because
That's not even my phone. That's
or is
Brian's
it bad 'cause it
phone.
makes sense?
True. Okay.
So what's next?
Yeah.
Oh, Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys?
Talking about playoffs?
Playoffs.
We'll be lucky to win a game.
Playoffs.
Practice.
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 Cheers, my man.
Cheers.
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 Sweat and tears. There you go.
Hennessy.
Oh, you know what we forgot to do
Oh,
tonight?
cheers, Jimmy.
What's in the cup?
What is in the
Jay, what are you drinking?
In and on.
Same thing.
Well,
as
how many
fucking-
times have you spilt it first? Hold on a second.
One, and it's been documented, so we don't need to talk
It's
about
One and a
it.
half because you almost done it again.
I did not. Well, I spilled yours when I acted like Alex.
Oh,
Jones
so you
earlier.
spilled my drink.
Alex Jones.
Almost did. Almost don't count.
Let me tell you something,
Yeah,
Joe.
halves don't count. Halves don't count. That's like
Halves
playing
don't
horseshoes
count.
and count hand grenades.
Yeah, but half mount works really well if you're a wrestler.
Half mount works great for beating somebody's face in.
Shit, no.
Does it?
Half-mount works great for a leg locker.
Like I said, I got 15 rounds saved.
What's a leg lock? Leg locks don't work.
Wrestler says, "What's a leg lock?"
Leg locks are how you escape mount, or that's how psychopaths do it anyway.
He finishes shit in 3 seconds 'cause he's
Didn't Brock Lesnar lose to a leg lock?
Yes, he did. Frank Mir.
Huh?
lock it down. He said, "Did Brock lose?"
Yeah.
Loser. I like that.
That's
He
why
lost
I'm not scared
by
to
a
be
toe
healed.
hold, I think is what it was.
Was that what it was?
So okay, let's bring something something else. Jimmy, was you ever a police officer?
Went to the academy.
Close enough.
Close
Me-
enough.
What year?
What year?
Like 2001.
Okay, boomer.
I
So
was 6 at the time.
let me ask you guys about this. All right. So I'm watching YouTube, and YouTube's a rabbit hole, and how you do not have YouTube.
My whole family's obsessed with it, so I just got a YouTube account like a month ago.
What?
Weird.
Yeah.
Really?
It's YouTube really
For
is
the
a guy
love of
thing,
God,
but-
hang up.
That's all my
please.
dad does is obsessed about it. Like
Stay on YouTube.
he comes home and watches YouTube, so it's one
Oh,
I just
yeah.
never got into.
Does
I
it-
feel him.
All right.
You need to try it.
I was watching this video.
I don't do liquor very
I was
well.
watching this video of.
Can I try
These
one of
are
those?
actually pretty good.
You wanna try one?
I'll wait.
Go ahead. Go. My bad. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, I introduced Brian to a new drink.
Sorry. We're,
He's
Can I try one?
shitting kittens over here
Go
on
ahead.
this new
We're being
drink.
connoisseurs over here.
Was it blue tick? Blue tick. Hey yo, blue tick. Let me try that.
I think it's better than Twisted Tea.
Arnold Palmer Spike with what?
He was a hell of a golfer. So Jay, this is
I'm a girl. I like
is that
this
Squaw?
Let me try that one time.
Tell her I said hey.
Please.
Put on
It's
speaker.
better than Twisted Tea.
Hey, baby.
Hey Tracy.
Hey, Tracy.
How long have you been?
What you doing?
Question.
thank you.
We are live
Thank you, Harold.
and on the podcast right now.
So watch your mouth. All of you.
Jimmy said, "Woo! I love you, honey."
All right. So, what's next? What's next? What's next?
All right, let's
What's
finish Jimmy's thing here.
I don't think it's better than Twisted Tea.
It is.
Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Jay.
He's got his thinking cap on. He's
Oh,
the thing's.
no,
He's thinking
it's
way
okay.
too hard.
We'll wait.
Okay, boomer.
So here's one of the videos I watched on YouTube. There's these guys that go out and they got their camera phones and they walk around police stations and they're on. You know what I'm talking
Yes,
about?
yeah.
They walk on the sidewalk. We talked about this, and it's public walkway or whatever. And they'll film the police station. They'll film the cars or whatever, and they have the right to do that.
Right.
And what they're doing is baiting cops to come outside
Baiting.
and saying, "What
Yeah.
are you doing? What's
Yeah.
going on? Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Who are you? I need to see some ID."
Yeah.
And the cop will say, "Here's where it gets weird, is that they're both wrong. You don't do that. You don't take a phone and you don't film. There's
Right.
no reason to film a police station.
All they're looking for is someone to watch their shit to try to make some money off.
Clout.
Of it.
It's
The
called
what now?
clout.
All they're trying to do is get famous, trying to get people to watch their shit, and all they do is they
YouTube material.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's called clickbait. It's all it is. And all they do is they show the bad part of the conversation.
Clout.
See, that's not clickbait.
That's clout. Yeah, it's clout. We
It
call
is
it clout.
definitely
They're
clout.
trying to get
The
clout.
thing is, and this is the part I don't understand. Why the police go out there, and there's a specific way that they can handle that, but they handle it completely wrong. And I guess
And that's why he's filming it. Just
that's what it is. They lie to them and say, "You have to show
But-
me ID."
But in this video, you don't know how many cops they've talked to before that one.
True.
They could have talked to 10 other cops who are like, "Hey guys, hope you're having a good day. Blah blah blah. Stay safe."
I have a First Amendment right. I know you do. I know you do.
Yeah, cool.
I'm just checking to see who you
Yeah,
are.
see
you
them-
know, go
yeah,
ahead and film.
yeah.
The whole night.
And then
But the thing is, we know.
And then that 10th cop they talked to, who knows if he's had a bad day.
he was a mall cop before he was a
Yeah,
cop.
exactly. And who's just pissed off at the world at that point in time. Who knows? That just happens to be that little needle in the haystack, that's pissed off
Yeah.
the whole nine.
Right.
and not only with the cameras, I've actually seen guys bring ARs, like
Oh,
assault
yeah.
rifles out there, just going in the middle of a park. And I saw a guy. He scaled his rifle down to where it was considered a pistol size, and he would just go. He stood out in the park, and obviously somebody called the police. Police come out there. He's got his pistol armed at him. What in the world is Jimmy doing?
Jimmy's playing tugboat with his.
Very nice, very nice. But anyway, the police come, obviously armed, pointing guns at him. Like, why is this guy standing out in the middle of a park
with
an
a
assault
AR-15
rifle
strapped over his shoulder. Right?
From the untrained eye, you see this guy. Obviously, he's got a pistol. He's got a rifle, and it's considered just the size of it. It's considered a pistol, but from untrained eye, looking from a distance, it looks like a rifle.
It's bait.
It's
Yeah,
bait.
and
And that's what he was
Yeah.
doing. And he was just arguing with him, be like, no, it's a pistol. It's a pistol. And they're like, well, why are you out here?
Well,
why not?
yeah.
Why not talk to us or whatever? He said, I just wanted to see what
That's the
you're doing.
reason I say just because you have the right to do something does not mean that it's the right thing to
Exactly.
do.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Because they're
and-
looking to trigger people.
I mean, that's like I can still carry a gun every single day of my life. Bye, Jimmy.
Down goes Jimmy.
Down goes Frazier.
I mean, I carry my
Yeah.
gun to work. It's in the car with me. It's at Walmart with me. But I'm not one of these guys who's sitting here with it exposed,
America.
trying to get a cop to, come
Yeah.
talk to me because
You're not looking for clout, bro.
exactly.
But you also got to look at the other
No
fact
clap,
that
bro.
No
there
clap,
is
bro.
people out there that don't understand their rights.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is those people that are out there.
Yeah.
And so they go just like YouTube. YouTube, you can literally YouTube anything in the freaking world and you'll find out about it.
Yeah.
You can how to pick a lock, how to steal a car. Not saying I've done it, but
The knowledge is out there.
the knowledge is out there.
I know my rights.
But there's also the guys out there, like these guys we're talking about, that just do it for clout or whatever, for bait. They just want, and then they'll get on there and say, well, we just want to get out here and show everybody what rights they have.
It's intention. You can't. That's why I hate Facebook so much. Is that you're talking to people you don't know from a can of paint.
Right.
You
Right.
have absolutely no respect for who it is that you're talking about. And when you talk about religion or politics or whatever the case may be, you don't have any respect for the person that you're talking about.
Right, right.
Meet me behind the gas station down at.
And that's, like, I don't post my public opinions like that because, one, it's nobody's business. Like, it's my right to keep my opinion to myself.
Very true.
And,
I have a
Two-
hard time keeping my mouth shut.
Yeah.
and
Jay? No.
That don't sound like him.
I never say nothing. You know I'm a very opinionated.
right meow,
I don't ever say anything.
Jimmy, opinionated?
right meow.
All I do is post funny, weird shit.
Yeah.
That's me.
Tag me in it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, the kung fu guys kicking each other in the nuts.
So
It's not about politics or religion. It's about seeing grown men kick each other in the nuts.
and that's like my Facebook page. The only thing that's on it is stupid shit like memes, funny videos, stuff from work, and stuff about the podcast.
Mine is like a plethora of different. One day I'll be like, I ain't going to talk about that, and the next day I'm like, the thing is, I know I'm that guy.
And
I
that's
know
a-
I am because
Meow.
sometimes. All right, I'll go ahead and say it. Remember when I was saying that you have the right to do something, doesn't mean that it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Colin Kaepernick for a second.
Oof.
All right, so everybody had
And here we go.
Okay, here's my thing. Might be right. I might be right. I might be right. I might be wrong. But here's my deal, and it is what it is. He kneels for the national anthem, and I said, the first time I ever seen Colin Kaepernick kneel for the national anthem, and everybody's raising hell about it. I asked, and I can't remember who it was. I said, "Why is he doing that?" And somebody said, because of police brutality. And I said, during the national anthem, he's kneeling during the national anthem, but to protest police brutality. I said, that's like protesting a plumber for not fixing your air conditioner. It doesn't make any sense. You know, if you went down to City Hall, or if you went to a police station to protest police brutality, because police brutality is a thing,
And it happened.
and it happens, then I can understand that. When I said about Rosa Parks, whenever she got on the bus and sat in the front and needed to go in the back, she's like, kiss my ass, I'm tired, my feet hurt, I'm going to sit in the front, I'm not moving. I understand that protest because it makes sense. He is a millionaire professional football player. Well, is he what?
No, he's
No, no.
back now.
Nobody's picked him up yet.
He's got that contract with Nike though.
That is true.
So
He was adopted by a white family in a rich school district and got everything he wanted.
So he has a huge platform. If I am a millionaire and I have a huge platform, it is my responsibility if I'm going to make a play, if I'm going to do something expose something for what it is, I'm going to make sure people understand completely, because there's families out there that have their sons and daughters coming back in a coffin with that flag draped over the coffin. That flag means something to them, and
Yep.
when you stand for the national anthem, and you look over and some guys kneeling down when they should be showing respect, they're going to have questions. You know, it's not a racial thing or anything like that. It's like, why is he doing that? If a white guy was doing it, they'd be like, why is he doing that?
Yep.
You know, it doesn't make sense.
Time and place.
A
Like
time and place for everything. So
I respect what he was doing and what he was doing it for,
Yeah.
but the way he
Do
did
better.
it, the way he did it, he shouldn't have done it.
do better.
Exactly.
Yeah,
100%.
but just because you have the right to do that, you're disrespecting the people that are dying every day to defend that right for you.
Exactly.
Exactly.
They're defending the right for you to disrespect them in that way, and that's my big problem with Colin.
Yeah, but I mean, it's and there's some United States soldiers that are like, well, that's why we fight in the first place, so he can do that.
And that's my view on it. He has all right to do that. Do I agree with it? Not in the slightest damn bit. But it is his right as an American citizen to do what he wants, freedom of speech when he wants, the right to gather when he wants.
A lot of people are like, well, that's why he's doing it, and I understand that. You can't tell me if you're sitting there, whether you're black, white, Hispanic, Chinese,
Black,
whatever,
blue, green.
if you're looking at him doing that for the first time, there's no way possible you can tell me, oh, he's doing that to protest police brutality.
No.
If you didn't know anything about the guy or why he's doing it, what they hear other people say, well, that's why he's doing it. Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, it don't. You needed it. If you have to have something explained to you, then you need to do better as far as your protest.
Exactly.
So there's that. But just because you have the right to do something doesn't mean it's the right thing to do.
I respect everyone's opinion as an American, but I also respect their opinion to be wrong.
And to come full circle, I think that fuels our argument against Sean Jones, because it's the same thing.
I mean,
It comes full circle. It's one of those, he's there in the sport in that capacity, and what you do reflects on you and reflects on the whole establishment. It's the same problem with Colin Kaepernick. Should it matter what his personal beliefs are because he's a football player? No. But because he's there in that capacity with that influence, it does make a difference.
I agree with that. And why Jimmy does not understand what I mean about losing your title for hitting a pregnant lady and breaking her arm, or because of the steroids, and you lose your title.
Thank you, Colin. Your stance was very brave. And
I'm glad you understood that. I'm glad you understood that. What
Yep,
Keisha?
that word.
I mean, and like I said, he was very brave for standing up for what he believes in. Anybody that has the balls to stand up for what they believe in, whenever it needs to be brought up, I have total respect for him.
I do too, but if it's explained to you,
Yeah,
why is he doing that?
Exactly.
You know,
I agree.
That's
I agree.
the problem, and everybody turns it into, well, what's your intention?
It turns into he said, she said bullshit. Left, right, no matter which
People
way.
are still talking about it. That's right. They're still trying to figure it out.
But look at it this way too. Tim Tebow, who stood for what he believed in when it comes to John 3:16 and his stance as a Christian,
3
was
million?
crucified for that.
Yep.
But Colin Kaepernick is
Praised.
praised for his disrespect towards our military. Even if you understand the cause, why is it okay to take that stance if Tim can't take his stance towards what he believes in?
Yeah.
There shouldn't be a double standard either.
Exactly.
That's saying
Here's
calling the kettle black.
Here's the thing. Everyone has their right to an opinion. Everyone has one. They're like assholes, but some of them stink. You don't have to agree with them, but you have to let people have their own opinion, because this is America. People fight for that freedom. Suck it up. Get the fuck over it. Grow up.
Exactly.
The police brutality is a thing.
Oh, yeah.
And if you make it a confusing thing, and I think I've explained it very well why people get confused about it and why they got questions about it. If you murk it up like that, that takes away from the actual problem that you're trying to fix.
And most of
You can go on YouTube anytime and do police brutality, do a search. It's all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and they're not. I'm not talking about police not only killing people, they're beating the shit out. pulling them
No,
out
and
of the
that,
car
and false arrest.
false
I mean,
arrests.
here's the thing too. A lot of good cops have lost their jobs
Yeah.
due to the media outplaying this police brutality. Now, do I think if you get pulled over for a traffic ticket and you're pissed, anybody's gonna be pissed off getting a traffic ticket? Should a cop have all right to drag you out of the car and commence whipping your ass? No. But if you go through a high-speed chase, run through neighborhoods, hitting other cops, shooting out the window at other cops, I think you deserve to sit there and get your ass beat after you get pulled out of that car.
Right.
Or if you that are following it to the letter of the
And
law.
that's the problem is that when something's filmed, you
It's
only
all-
get that 20
it's-
second
it's-
segment of what
Yeah.
happened.
You only see this much of it, not the whole picture.
I tried out for the police academy like years ago,
A good movie.
and yeah, I think they made that movie because I tried out for the police academy. But I tried out for it, and you have to go through an exam. You have to write out, do the exam, then you got to do the physical test, and then you got the panel interview. So when I went into the panel interview, you got the high ups sitting behind the table, and they ask you questions like, if you were to get pulled over by a police officer and you were hired by the police force, would you show him your badge to try to get out of the speeding ticket? And say, if you do get another speeding ticket, they're going to take your license away and you could lose your job. Would you show your badge? I went, yeah, I would. And they went, oh, they kind of stood up and went, okay, why would you do that? And I was like, well, if this is my only means of, I gotta
Get money.
I got kids.
I gotta eat.
I
Gotta eat, bro.
So I'll be like, hey, brother, I'm sorry for what
Help
I've
me,
done.
help
Could-
you.
Could you help me out? But okay. Say the situation's reversed, and you pull over a police officer, and he shows a badge. Say, help a brother out. What would you do then? And I said, I'd probably give him a ticket. And they were like, whoa,
Damn
wait,
fine.
you would not want a ticket. And I'm like, well, do I know that, do I know that if he loses his license, you don't know anything. He just tries to show you, I would explain to myself, hey, if I get one more ticket, I lose my license, I lose my job, and I have no way to, He said, you don't know anything. All you know is that he's trying to get out of a ticket. I'd be like, no, I give him a ticket. So
Jimmy.
They were like, he's not hired.
they shit a kitten. They completely shit a kitten when I said that. So, and they was just like, you don't do that. Please,
It's a brotherhood.
It's a brotherhood. A traffic violation is not a crime. It's a misdemeanor, and this, that, and the third. And I was like, well, okay, I get it now. You guys are sovereign citizens. That's what you're telling me. Some people. The reason that I do not become a police officer, and I've said the same thing over and over again when people tell me this, is that I had a detective say, "Why don't you become a cop?" I said, wouldn't be a good cop." He goes, well, "Why?" I said, "Because the first call I get, and it's a child abuse case, or a mom
God,
gets
yeah.
the hell beat out of her in front of her children, or a child molestation case, I would be very hard pressed to explain to my Becca when it arrives later why the guy grabbed my gun and shot himself in the face, reloaded and shot himself in the face 8 times, and grabbed
But
his-
he shot himself
Yeah,
in the face.
It was the craziest thing I've ever
8
seen. in my life.
times.
He shot himself in the face 16 times, cut his penis off, and throwed it in his mouth. I don't know what the guy was on, but it was crazy. But
I need to meet his dealer.
it's a half truth, because that's one of the reasons why I couldn't be a cop. But another reason is when I see things, I'm not a police officer for the same reason I'm not a professional wrestler. When you're a professional wrestler, you're putting your safety into the hands of the guy that's you're wrestling with, right? You're doing the same thing as a police officer.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to back that play. People say there are good police officers and bad police officers. Well, when a bad cop does bad stuff and the good cop doesn't do anything about it, and here's the problem with that: if he does say anything, your supervisor or guy that's above you, your sergeant or whatever, always has the back of the guy that done something wrong.
Mhm.
It's a cover-up thing. So if you say something, you're going to get in trouble for being a good cop.
I mean, and that's where a lot of it gets misconstrued. I mean, nowadays you got these, like you said, good cops that are having to keep an extra eye out because they don't know what that person in the car that they pulled over has seen a cop their whole life as.
I couldn't be a cop.
No.
I've got guys that I love, like brothers that I train with, that are police officers that I would, I love them to death, and I tell them, I was like, there's no way I could do your job. There's no way I could.
It's
do your
the
job.
most stressful, most underpaid job that you can hold.
And if I was a police officer, whoever was my partner, I'd be like, look, dude.
Here's the deal.
You need to, I got your back, you got mine. Don't do dumb shit. Because if you do dumb shit, I'll have your back, but you're going to have to answer to me later,
Okay. Y'all ever seen that movie Let's Be Cops?
Yes.
That was me and Jay.
That is me and you. Somebody saw me and him somewhere and followed us around and be like,
I'd be on the mic. Hey, you, lady. You in that short skirt. Come here.
yeah.
We'd be doing something crazy.
I'd buy a damn cop car off eBay and like,
So we can find you one tomorrow. Me and Turf will find you one tomorrow.
I know where one's at right now for $800.
it's the actual movie.
See,
So
bet. Say less.
$800. You got it?
when me and Brian were like going out to the hog and stuff, the phone conversation would be like, yeah.
I look like shit.
Well, that was later.
Speaking of buy your I look like shit shirt.
I look like shit shirt.
The Pandicap Podcast
I have to
live.
have a guy that I look like shit shirt. But anyway, I would call Brian. He would be like, "Hey, what's up?" I'd be like, "This is what we're gonna do." I wouldn't say hi. This is what we're gonna do.
Game plan. Huddle up.
I said, we're gonna get drunk over at the apartment.
I already
and then
know.
We're gonna go to Hog, and then we're gonna get in trouble, and then we're gonna go to eat pancakes and scream penis real loud. And then we're gonna go home.
Sounds like us,
Good
Turf.
night.
Bet.
Hey,
I'm
Or-
there.
don't say nothing about the parking lot because that's what
It's
we
on.
did when the hog was open every Thursday night, every Friday night, every Saturday night. Every now and then we'd switch it up. Saturday nights we go to JC to change up the
Change the
Yeah,
flavor.
no.
a little
Yeah,
bit. You gotta
yeah,
change the flavor.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I got past that. I'm so glad I got past that.
So
Hog nights were fun. They were. I mean, everybody.
I went to
talks-
the Hog once.
Everybody talks trash.
I've been there a couple times.
That's
and
the reason that you didn't like it is because of who it is that you went with. If you went with me and Brian,
Facts.
you would have had a
Lord.
blast.
Facts.
See, I always wanted to
I'm
play
telling
I
D&D
would have been
there,
in
and
jail.
I
You
went to
shoulda
watch
went
the
with
fight
me.
It'll be a
once.
blast. It would have been so much fun.
Oh, we had so much chaos.
Squall got into the mix and
So
oh my
much
God,
chaos.
So many stories.
I'm so glad I didn't go out
Same.
drinking with you.
You've told me a lot of the stories.
They were true.
I mean, all true.
They were all true.
I can vouch for that.
Here's the thing. Like, if one of my boys get in a fight somewhere, I've got my boys back.
You're damn right you do.
I don't.
See, exactly.
I know.
That's
People would be like, if it's 1-on-1,
That's
if
you.
it's 2, yeah, I'll jump in. But if it's 1-on-1, Brian, what's your 2 jobs? If I get in a fight,
Play sniper.
play sniper and
Then pull you off.
pull me off
Pull you
because
off.
I ain't gonna quit. Play
Gotta
sniper,
pull you off a little
play
bit. I
sniper, and then pull me off.
I give him about 10 seconds.
See, when we went out,
I got him. I got him.
when we went out as a group,
I knew my mic wasn't loud.
I don't know who's
Never
my.
allowed, Jay.
Wait, hold
Let
up.
him know.
Hold up. Who's
Go
my-
Pete.
when we went out as a group, I was never the one that got in the fights, and I will tell you 100% I never gotten in a fight. But
It's Turf's mic.
I'm the best shit talker in East
Hands
Tennessee
down.
that you've ever met. I can make the nicest person in the freaking world fight me.
Hands
And then
down.
when I know I have like 10 or 15 people behind my back, oh, it just speeds my fire even more.
That's why. Here we go. That right. Here we go. There we go.
And so it's
There
like
we go.
This is why I didn't
It,
go
it
out
could be
drinking.
it could be the most random stuff. Like we could pick some random person, and as soon as we get there, be like, "Oh, that dude's got a pink shirt on. That's the one for the
That's the
night.
one. We pick
That's the one."
Oh, I
my
got a story.
bitch.
I got a story.
Oh God,
We
here
were
we
at
go.
Biggie's when Biggie's first opened, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we're sitting there and we're drinking, having a good time. Nick Roberts was with me.
Was that there?
No,
Okay.
But Nick I got him out, and we were sitting there. He goes, Jay, look over at that next table, and look at that dude, the bodybuilder dude with the salmon shirt on.
That's how you
pink. He goes, no, it's salmon. I look over, and this dude's like, I mean, he's huge. Got the tan, you know, ripped to shreds.
Yeah.
He's eating his burger, right? And he's got these mesh Madonna fingerless gloves on.
So like Tony Ferguson.
So how
Yes!
long ago was this?
This was
Where-
right when Biggie's first opened. And I'm like, am I too drunk to not register that those are Madonna gloves that he's eating a burger with? He's like,
Man, he's
no!
eating his burger.
And Nick's dying. He's just like,
Oh
oh
my
my God. So I put up a post that said, quick question.
so this dude.
If you got mesh fingerless gloves on eating a burger, what do you all think about that? In the comments, we're like, what are you doing at Big? What are you doing at Newbies? What are you doing? What are you doing at Newbies? Oh my God, that's gay. Blah, 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 all this other stuff. So apparently, one of the people that was on the table where dude was friends with me on Facebook. And I didn't know that.
See, that's Turf's problem. He knows every fucking person in Kingsport.
That would happen to me, 100%.
5,000 people on their friends list, right?
Yeah, probably.
Why would I think that wouldn't happen? So I get a message from dude.
From dude.
Yo, bro, what's up? And I'm like, quick question. Do you own fingerless mesh Madonna gloves?
Oh!
I think I know you. So he was like, yeah,
think I got it.
what's your big
I
problem?
hope so.
I was
Oh my
like,
God.
what's my big problem? I think
Those
that kinda
fucking
answers
gloves.
itself whenever you say fingerless mesh Madonna hamburger gloves.
Right?
And he was just like, well, we can sell this and blah blah blah. And he's like, and I went, you know what? I'm sorry, I got nothing. I was being a dick. I was drunk. I'm sorry. Well, if you want to throw hands, we can throw hands. I was like, I mean, we can, but I don't.
Not with them gloves.
I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm completely wrong. You know. I mean, what were you thinking wearing those gloves? Is what I was thinking. But you know, to each his own. You want to wear that and eat a burger?
Do you think?
Wear it out.
That's funny,
As-
bro.
Turf, tell them the story about you getting stabbed.
Whoa.
Okay, I got stabbed once. My buddy actually got stabbed 9 times.
I was there for this. This is
At the same
How
time?
many times you get stabbed, Cash?
no, because I'm smart.
Okay, hold on a second.
You try to one up there.
I was there.
I was stabbed 20 times.
Okay, so this guy, I won't say
I
names.
died.
I won't say
They
names.
cut my head off.
But this guy made one of our friends, made fun of one of our friends' daughter.
Who's got
She has dwarfism and then has something else. So, yeah.
You've
Was
got
ma-
exactly negative 2 seconds to apologize.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
And so, like, he's making these jokes or whatever, and we found out. And so, we know how this certain friend is, and he's not a very confrontational person. And so, all of our friends was mentioning this dude that said this. So, another friend of mine, who is black, he messaged this guy and was like, "Yo, as soon as I see you, just know it's
the
gonna happen
spot.
on the spot. It's gonna happen. Like, no questions asked. I'm just gonna come up. I'm gonna hit you. That's the end of it." Well, then he started saying racist slurs to him, and just kept going, and he was like, "I'm telling you, I promise you, when I see you out, you're not gonna be happy." And so this guy was smart, knew that we hung out in the parking lot at night, so we would never see him at night. We'd only see him during the day in Bristol, never come to Kingsport, ever. So he played it pretty smart. Pretty smart. I mean, if I had a group of people coming after me, I wouldn't go to that spot. But I don't know. I guess this one night he had a wild hair on his ass.
Maybe they forgot.
Yeah, or something. I really don't know. So he was hanging out with another guy that I know. They come to the parking lot, and I'm about to say his name.
There we go.
I about did. And so my friend saw him. He was like, "That's him." And I was like, "Yeah, that's him." Well, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna fight him." And I was like, "Well, okay." I mean, it's a parking lot. It happens. It was like an everyday thing.
Whoop-de-doo.
What did he do? Like, we saw a fight like every other night. And so he gets on the back of a bike, rides up to where this guy is, and they start fighting one-on-one.
Damn.
I'm probably from here to probably the end of the
Okay,
driveway.
we'll tell them where it happened. So, Hobby Lobby parking lot here in Kingsport. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Right there in front of Hobby
Over
Lobby.
there next to Fazoli's and all that.
Yes, that's where we were. The fight was happening in that parking lot in front of McAllister's, kind of closer.
Okay, so you got like
to-
Hobby Lobby here, and you got McAllister's here.
Yes, and it was
Closer to the bank.
yeah, closer to where Regions is at. That's where it was all happening at.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we all see this. They're fighting one-on-one. And then, just like when you hang out with a group of friends, y'all have a code. It's like, if you get in a fight, I'm there.
Yeah.
Just in case if something happens.
Yeah.
Somebody jumps in, I'm in.
Everyone can handle their own,
It's the
but
And
You got
so,
friends for a reason.
yeah.
And so we see this. Everybody takes off running. They go to the car. Not me. No, sir. I didn't take off running. I got in my car and I drove up there, and then everybody's like flipping out. And so, well, they stop fighting by the time we get up there because he sees everybody's there, and he knows that everybody's probably going to stomp the shit out of him. Without a
Rightfully
doubt.
so.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. He
He
deserves
gets
it.
in the car, tries to leave, so we stop the car.
Me
So we
and
stop the car, and everybody's like flipping out. I hear my friend screaming, "I'm leaking." I don't hear this. Everybody's screaming. He's like, "I'm leaking," and then Chris went over to him and was like, "He's leaking." I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever." So I'm on the side of the car.
So at this point, me and another buddy of ours is like trying to keep the guy in the car, so nothing else happens because he had a knife,
Not my plan.
and here comes Turf trying to yank this door open. Our buddy comes and like Spartan kicks this door back shut, going, "Turf, he has a knife
And I was like, not in my right mind. I will say 100%.
in one ear, out the other."
I was like, my idea right now is to open this door and kill this motherfucker. Because I haven't registered fully what happened to my other buddy. And I was like, oh, no, they got in a fight, and he's lost. That's all I know so far. So I opened the door, and this is how I knew, like, if I did hit somebody, it would probably hurt, but I know I won't. And so, like, I opened the door, come in first.
Oh, Turf got him clean though. I will say
I
that.
saw the head go back, and I was like, I looked at myself, and I was like, okay, that was good. I do this. Go in again.
Progress.
Hit him again. And I was like, holy shit, I hit him twice. All right, here we go. It feels so good. This is amazing. And I was like, this MMA stuff might work out for me.
Every fight ever.
And that third one, I missed. And then, like, and then I knew I had like 10 or 15 people behind me. Like, people had 2x4s, other stuff, waiting for this guy to get out of the car.
Blow torches and
Like, we were honestly going to kill this guy. 100%. Probably, no doubt.
And his buddy driving this car has already gotten out of the car. It's like,
Yeah, he got out of the car, and all he said, he's
you blame him?
crying.
I'm so sorry.
He's literally crying. He was like, please don't. This is my mom's car. Please do not do anything to my mom's car. I'm so sorry. I didn't know he was going to do that. Da, 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 da. I turned around and looked at him, and I was like, yo, if you shut the fuck up right now, we want him. We don't want you.
You're good.
That sounds like the Salem witch trials, just a little bit. A little bit.
And so I go back in, and I'm like, all right, I'm big enough. This guy's not that big. I can grab him and pull him out. And we can curb stomp this motherfucker right now. We can curb stomp him. Me not thinking, forgot about seatbelt.
That dude hopped in the car and was like, go!
I'm yanking as hard as I can.
Was he in a car seat?
No, he could have been. He should have been. And I'm
The guy was
yanking,
12. Did I say that?
and I keep yanking. I'm like, he's not coming out. What is going on? And then I get stabbed. He had it in his left hand, and it was like, boom. And I was like, oh, I got stabbed. So I calmed down. I shut the door.
I'm done with this
I put my
situation.
nose up to the glass, and I said, you know you're going to jail, right? And somebody called the cops, and then like 15 seconds later, there was 37 cops. And the
Oh,
first thing I
bro.
heard was, get the fuck on the ground. I said, yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
The ground is now my friend.
That
And-
sounds a little bit like Newport.
And so
Oh God!
I got stabbed in the process. Had
And
An
this is,
arm.
in the arm right here.
Bro,
and this is why this is why I quit going out places. Was
Yeah.
this night?
We'll see. I didn't quit going out after this night,
He just
but
chose.
I did calm down a lot.
Yeah, you did.
And I will say 100%, my fiance is probably about the only reason why I'm still alive. If I didn't have her, I'd probably still be out doing stupid shit.
Takes
Without
a good
doubt.
woman.
as if the knife didn't humble him. You know,
I mean,
just
If it
saying.
wasn't for her and the knife,
you know, like everybody keeps saying, like all my friends will joke around. It's like I'm gonna stab you. I'm like, okay. I mean, I've been stabbed once. Let's see what a gunshot feels like. I guess I'm gonna move
For
up.
like 3 weeks after this whole
That's
situation,
not good logic.
Turf walked around saying he had street cred because he got stabbed once. With his 2 stitches he ended up with at the
And it was
hospital.
11 or 10. I don't remember. But
It's
I
like
will say,
getting grazed by a bullet. And be
I
like,
was
yo,
the-
bro, I got shit.
I got shot.
the other friend that got stabbed 9 times, he will say to this day that I was the only friend that did something. Not saying that they wouldn't have done something, but 100% I went 110% to make sure this guy was going to get it.
And then he looks.
Tennessee's good, ain't
This
it?
is good.
And then every time, so after Turf gets stabbed, we got my buddy over here next to a car. I've done ripped my shirt off, brand new Bushido shirt too, that the white ones they had a couple years back. I was putting on his back to apply pressure, and someone comes and yanks this shirt out from underneath my hand, and this finger goes about that far in my buddy's back. I'm like, and then he's like, I bet I'm feeling sick. I was like, me too, bud.
Good.
And he says, like, when he was fighting him one-on-one, I mean, what it looked like, he was winning.
It looked like
And he'll say to this
they
day,
clinched up and was just kind of like throwing like these punches at each other.
and
It was
he'll
a
say to
knife.
this day, he was like, I 100% said during the middle of the fight, was like, why are you punching like a bitch? 100%. Because he didn't know until after the fact, and then the adrenaline went away, and he was like, oh shit, I got stabbed 9 times. So, but yeah.
Good
Yo, man,
times.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Harold.
Yeah, buddy.
So
You learn.
before we get off here, I want to bring up, what does everyone think about 53-year-old Mike Tyson coming back?
Please.
He looks
That's what I
phenomenal.
put up
For
a
53.
Facebook post that said Evander Holyfield's coming back, Mike Tyson's coming back, and so is James Toney. It looks like somebody unlocked the cheat code for Legends boxers in the game of life, and I'm not mad about it at all. It's the truth.
Have you seen? Okay, everybody's seen this.
Did you see Dustin Long's post about it? Where he's like, everybody needs to sit down and shut up about Tyson taking out Deontay. So Tyson is like 53 years old, and he'll get killed by Deontay.
No, he
Do,
wouldn't.
do you agree with that?
53 versus a young. Tyson's not fought in years. Yeah, I can see
The
that.
only reason I say that, the videos that popped up, Tyson
That's-
doesn't look
that's-
53.
But
But-
you can
but that's-
look
that's-
real good. You can look
You can-
real
yeah,
good
against not fighting
and
nobody.
hit mitts like that.
Yeah.
Bullets don't hit back.
It's not. I mean, he may give you 3 good rounds.
And that's
know,
all. And that's all.
Deontay,
Tyson came out and said was, "Hey, I'm wanting to do just a couple
That's an
charity,
example.
Yeah.
Exhibition.
just a couple charity fights. That's it. Nothing major." And then there comes boom, Shannon Briggs. Here's $20 million from Bare
Shannon
Knuckle.
Briggs is gonna. Let's go, champ.
I just want to do an exhibition for $20 million. Bare knuckle. Let's do this. I'm going to do that too, and then I'm going for the world championship.
I'm just saying.
Have you seen
just like
Holyfield's
that.
promo video? Like you seen Tyson's. Tyson, man, he looks like the whole Tyson. Man, and you look at Holyfield, you like.
He looks like Tin Man from Wizard of Oz
He
that
looks
needs
like
some
old.
oil.
Oh no.
Old
He's like-
Holyfield. Yeah, his looks terrible.
I've
That's what I
seen.
hate about videos. They really don't do justice. It's good to it's easy to look good on a video, but in real time,
Especially hitting
Tyson's looks pretty damn good. Though.
Yeah, Tyson.
well, he's Mike Tyson.
Tyson.
Yeah.
He looks like
vicious.
he's like his 20-year-old self.
But
You know.
mitts don't hit back.
And it's don't hit back.
Chuck Liddell, when I seen him hitting the mitts when he was getting ready for Tito for the 3rd time, I was like, he's gonna get killed. because he looked so bad. He
Here you
looked
go, Jay.
really bad.
This is Holyfield.
This is Holyfield.
Holyfield looks bad.
His hooks look terrible. That's
Yeah.
not even
Look how stiff.
mechanically like safe.
But I mean, he.
You still can't pay me enough to take a punch from that man.
Like this
No, sir.
is how you blow out your shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Rotator cuff, like
Gone.
He's a beast.
I mean, will forever be one of the greatest heavyweights to ever grace the ring, but he needs to quit while he's ahead. Because even if they do an expedition fight between Mike and Vander, it's not going to end good. Because
That's exhibition, Chris.
Whatever.
What do you say?
Expedition.
that's
I
hard.
wanted to do an expedition fight
I'm toasted.
in
Toasty.
in the Sahara in the African Badlands. I want to do an expedition,
Expedition.
a fight, or do you want to go on tour? What are you
But
talking
then
about?
you got.
Kind of sounds like a widow girl with
Here it
with
is.
With.
Then
You ever heard
got-
with.
You ever heard Damon Wayans
you
talk
got
about fighting Mike
this.
Tyson?
Yeah, Tyson looks
Hold
insane.
They asked the guy holding the mitts for Tyson what he was thinking when when he's holding the mitts like that. He said, "I saw my children, I saw my life like pass before my eyes."
But dude,
Could
look
you
at-
imagine something like that coming at you like full force?
No.
What do you do?
No, there's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do.
I mean, even with Asian him,
I mean, look
so
how-
technically sound.
Man,
Look
that's
at-
because he's a machine.
There's like, what the fuck?
But I mean, look how like in shape he looks right there.
Yeah. Do you remember that picture I seen of y'all? Like when he was.
Yeah, like from
Yeah.
like 6 months ago to now.
Yeah.
That's goals, guys.
It's in his DNA.
I'm gonna have to.
Cut it loose.
Yeah.
All right.
The heavyweight division is weak as fuck. Tyson
Yep, I agree.
trash is overhyped. No skill wild or other debatable, but
But
Guys, I'm gonna have to roll.
all right.
we're gonna call this one, fellas.
I mean,
This is show. It's
Yeah,
a
it's
wrap. Hell, we did
What?
two.
It's an hour and 37. Man, we
party.
probably did 2 hours. We probably did all 2 hours. Well, everybody, I just want to thank y'all for tuning in to the Paint Your Cat podcast. We hope you have a wonderful one. I want to end by saying Carol Baskins.
Carol Baskins.
Also, thank y'all for having me on
Yeah.
the
That
show.
bitch, Carol Baskin.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Turf. Thank you.
Thanks, Turf.
And the blue tick.
Miss Josie, appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cox.
Everyone,
Thanks, Cash.
God bless you.